So originally I was going to make a video on how to actually play Ark. Like how to actually get the ball rolling on PvP servers. Because I see a lot of people join and they just seem kind of lost and don't know what to do. Or they say they watched some video and the video doesn't have the best advice. But instead, I decided to rant about something the devs could easily fix, but is a big problem and I think definitely fucks with the population of Ark and could, if fixed, keep the pop rolling at a little bit of a higher fucking rate than what it is now, and or after Scorched Earth dies down, it'll fucking start to crash again. But the main issue, I think, with Ark that kills pop is the spots. There's no good spots for small tribes. If you are a 3 to 5 man, maybe a 5 to 10 man, there really is nowhere for you to build. On island, they have the pearl caves, which aren't bad. Like, the large pearl caves, if you know how to build, can be pretty good. I'll admit that. And if you're like a 10 man, you can lock it down. You got a decent 10 man, you can lock it down. But besides that, like on Scorched, there's really no good spots for small to medium sized tribes. And if you aren't a 10 man, let's say you're a group of 4 friends that want to play, where are you going to build? I mean, they nerfed the shit out of the rat holes. They need to fix that. Like, bring spawning in the rat holes back. Stop patching the rat holes. Like, I know they patched one of the main rat holes people were building in on ASA, the underwater one by Carno. Don't do that. Where are these little tribes going to build? Where are the 3-mans going to build? Where are the duos going to build? The solos? Like, there's nowhere for them to build. And I know people are like, well, you can go to 6-man. Well, 6-man is not 6-man. It's fucking 30, 40 people account sharing. So it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, the tribes are a little smaller, and you can only have 6 people attacking at a time. But you're not going to outperform 40 people fucking account sharing. You're just not. They're going to keep fucking coming. They're going to come when you're offline and all that shit. And you're just going to get wiped, which is what a lot of people experience on 6-man. And I know a lot of people hate rat holes. They're like, oh, they're unraidable. They need to be patched. I hear that from a lot of big tribes, but they're not. They're not unraidable, especially the ones on ASA. You can definitely raid the legit rat holes on ASA. You can rush them with specific dinos. There's tunneling methods. There's legit raiding methods in the game that you can wipe rat holes with. But people seem to think if you can't just sit there for 10 hours and throw cryopods at a fucking base, that the base is unraidable. Like, just use your noggin a little bit and fucking, use some other methods to raiding. And I know a lot of people, like, think that a small spot like that shouldn't be that OP, but it should, because you're giving up the ability to have, like, a rep and a breeding area, and you're not taking up anything important. You're not blocking off artifacts. You're not anything like that. In return, your spot should be a little bit harder to raid. It shouldn't just be you can swim a turtle in. Like, it should be, you have to think through the spot, and in return, they can't really have shit, Like, you have a small spot. Yeah, you can store a lot of loot in it because people come up with cool ways of building, but you can't have, like, a rep, like previously mentioned. And then the other problem with that is, like, the devs fixed meshing for, like, the good spots, but for the little spots, you're fucked. It's so easy to mesh the pearl caves and the rat holes. Like, you can swim a baryonyx through the fucking map right now. And I think they said they patched it. No, it's not patched. You can still do it. I see people do it. I know how to do it. And then on Scorched, fucking the pillars, I don't know if they think you're going to build on a pillar. One, the pillars are just too easily rated legit. Like, you can fucking bug rate it when servers open up, Quetzal rate it when servers open up, and then on top of it, they're non-PvP dino. They said, oh no, it's not going to be pay to win for PvP, it's a PvE dino. You can load a fucking Titan on it and raid any outside base with it, so it definitely is PvP. That kind of shows that they don't understand how their game works. Like, did they not think somebody was going to load golems and titans up on a fucking giant flying dino and use it to raid people? Like, how did they not realize that is PvP and that is pay to win? But it's kind of a different subject. the game always goes through these cycles where they release a map and a bunch of people start playing again. You know, you get all those small friend groups that are like, oh fuck, let's go start up. You know, maybe a few survive during the initial attempt to build up, the initial start, and you know the alpha might be chill, and they're like, oh, you can fucking build up, you can build in the shitty fucking spot because there's no good spots, or they take a spot that they're too small, too controlled to lock down, and once transfers open, they just get annihilated. So then you have the initial drop when servers first open of the people who just don't get the ball rolling, and then after that you have the initial initial drop of people not having a good spot. They can't, like, you can be offline to 30 fucking minutes. You get off for 30 minutes, get back on, and your base is gone. It took 2 months to build. Like that causes people to stop playing, and then they don't want to come back because they know there's no good spots or they don't have enough people, whether it's official or 6-man. Like I said, like if you can't build in that one okay rat hole and get fucking tech right away, there's just nowhere for you to build. So the devs need to just add their own little rat holes and add their own like Pearl Cave-ish spots on all maps, so that those small tribes, whether on 6-man or on official, can build up and keep building up. Yeah, you're gonna get wiped, especially if you're a small tribe. Even big tribes get wiped. It's part of the game. But give them an incentive to come back. You build up, let's say they add rat holes, like their own rat holes, they're okay. Maybe you last a month, you cause beef with somebody that fucking will spend the time to raid a rat hole, they fucking raid you, and then, you take your small break, and then a little bit later you go, oh, let's build up in this other rat hole that they have added. Well, that's just not the case. They don't have that. So nobody wants to rebuild up if they know that their options are to take a cave they're too small for, or they're fucking, gonna build it out in the open and just get their shit ran. Like, nobody wants to play because of that. People you would add to the game if you just allowed small friend groups to have a chance, last a couple weeks. Not everybody wants to join a massive tribe and have a wreck and play the game like it's a fucking job, or even have the ability to, because a lot of people, fear being incited, rightfully so, because that's a big issue in the game. And so they're just not going to invite, some random bobs that don't know how to play the game to play the game with them. So you kind of leave these small friend groups with no options. And if you want the game to grow, you want the game to not just die off every 3 seconds, you need to add these small spots and then make them non-meshable, because, clearly you made the other spots hard to mesh, but these fucking spots, like I said, like Scorched, you can mesh half the map with a fucking RG. On Island, you can mesh with a baryonyx. It's like, fix that. And there's private meshing methods that I know of that are quite simple, easy fixes, but the devs don't test shit. They don't test it. And then they also think that, you 5-man fucking tribe can lock down easy underwater. That's not possible. It just doesn't work. And then lastly, I know a lot of people talked about this. This is a big issue. Is the cheating. You're not going to get rid of the cheating at all. Like, there's always going to be spinners, no matter the game. Like, we see that in all games, especially now. Cheating is just fucking huge. It's its own big market. But you can get rid of the speed hacking, and that's the big one. Like, the amount of people I know that have been wiped by speed hackers, that's an easy fix. Fucking, I'm pretty sure, like, a Minecraft PvP server added, if you fucking speed hack, you just get DC'd, you get fucking kicked out of the server. But motherfuckers on Ark are flying around on their fucking bugs, basically teleporting, looking like a motherfucking, like, UAP from a Pentagon video. Like, motherfuckers got crazy speed hacks on this game, and they just wipe people, and they fucking fly around and spin. If you just made it so you lag out if you reach a certain speed, easy fix. You don't gotta patch the cheats. You just gotta patch maxing a certain speed. Like, you shouldn't be able to go Mach 10. Like, fucking just make it so if you go Mach 10, you lag out. Boom. There you go. No more speed hacking. Or, like, they might speed hack to get away and then lag out and go flying. Like, that might be, but that's better than getting your base ran by somebody speed hacking. Like, there's these 2 simple fixes. Add small bases for people to build in Like, they don't have to be OP as shit. They just have to be hard to raid. And I know people will be like, what? Big Tribe will still raid you. Well, it has to be worth. And if you aren't blocking anything important, like you would be if you tried to build fucking, a hunter cave, like, they're going to wipe you because you're blocking artifacts and you can't lock it down. Another tribe will use it as a fob. But if you're built in a little fucking hole somewhere and you don't talk shit or fucking start beef with people, you're really only going to be dealing with other people built in small holes. Like, when I was built in a rat hole on official, the other people that were looking for me and attacking me were people also built in that same rat hole. So if you add more spots to the game that people could build in, and then some medium-sized spots for those like 10-mans on official and 6-man, because like I said, that shit ain't 6-man, you would keep a higher pop consistently. Like, that's the main problem. Like, people just have nowhere to go. So why play the game if you're stuck building on a pillar? Like, this is such a simple fix that would add so much to the game, because you have so many more people. There'd be so much more PvP. The game would be fun because you'd have so many more tribes going around trolling, doing stuff like that. Like, look at the game when there wasn't much PvP because Island was closed. It died so fast. And the game will continue to keep dying when they add new maps and all those fucking medium-sized tribes get wiped. I think the big problem is, like, with rat holes and all this shit, is the big tribes cry about it because they can't just throw their fucking cryopods out like originally I said. And then what happens is they submit 40 fucking tickets, and then the devs are like, oh, look, there's like a high fucking ticket rate for these rat holes and stuff. And what they don't realize is the other 60% of their fucking population is trying to live in spots like that. You got fucking so many people that are just a group of 3 that want to fucking just build in a rat hole or build in a pearl, which there aren't many pearls, and then on other maps there aren't spots like the pearls. And so, they fucking get rid of them, and then the game dies. And then there's, the game's boring. And then other people in the big tribe stop playing because there's no PvP unless you're gonna, go fob on another massive tribe. And so, I just think that's a very easy fix. And if they just added small spots to the game, you would have so many more people play. I don't see how it would hurt. Like, if you added small spots and more people don't play, it's not hurting anything. The big tribes aren't going to build in the small spots, like, they're going to build in the big OP caves, that you can shove 400 fucking turrets in and nobody else can touch unless you are massive yourself. So, I don't know. That's just a small rant. I might make more videos. I could also make that video on how to actually play Ark. I'm unsure right now. I just kind of wanted to do this for fun. But that's it.